So when you forgive another and forgive yourself, then you're able to let that story go, and that then brings you into the present moment. How important is it to forgive? It's probably one of the most important things you can ever, ever, ever do. It's a form of sacred geometry. It's like a magic wand. Because it changes the frequencies that are held inside your body. Now, I was an abused child, and I remember through my teenage years, I was so mad, you know. How dare someone take my childhood from me, right? And that kind of attitude. And I remember someone telling me, I think it was a priest or a monk, and he said to me, well, first thing you need to do is forgive. Forgive, you know, what happened. And I said, forgive? I'll never let him off the hook. You know, like, what are you, crazy? Forgive him. In my mind, as long as I didn't forgive him, he was being held accountable for what he did. I felt, the moment I forgave him, that he was off the hook.
Yeah, most people think that.
Right, so we don't want to forgive because we don't want them off the hook. But what we don't realize is when we don't forgive somebody, well, number one, they may not even know or remember or whatever. For you, it might be a big trauma. For them, they even forgot about it. Who knows, right? So number one, whether you're mad at them or not, they probably couldn't give a hoot. It's not affecting them. Maybe if you phoned them every day and cursed and swore at them and you made them remember that they did that, then maybe they'd remember and be living with that. But otherwise, most people have a tendency to bury things and then go on with their life. So whether you forgive them or not, even if you have this grudge and it's really, really strong, it may not even affect them in any way anyhow. So you're really not holding them accountable, per se. When you forgive them, it's not about them at all. You're forgiving them for you. Because when you forgive someone, you no longer have that feeling in the pit of your stomach. You don't have that in there that every time you think of them. When you forgive them, you heal you, not them. It's never about them. It's always about you. And then that pushes your evolution to the next step. It lets something very big inside of you discharge. Because when we don't forgive somebody, we hold that ball of energy, that story, and it creates disarray everywhere. So another way of wording it, we're all these atoms in motion. And by the way, all of these atoms in motion have a negative charge. Everything is positive or negative, right? So your body is negative. You're a negative field. The thoughts, the experiences that you've had is a positive charge. So when we hold something like an abuse issue inside of ourselves, we hold this positive charge that's stirring, it's positive, and it's against what we are, negative. So all your negative field has to really work hard to hold this story inside you, these feelings, these energies. So all your energy is going to always contain this. And sometimes it will burst and you'll get mad. And then you push it back down, right? You try to contain it, always trying to contain it. So we use vast amounts of energy to contain it. One. Number two, even if you found a way to contain it throughout your whole life, if it's really big, you may develop almost every disease on this planet because your cells are draining just trying to contain it. So it's a disease haven. Number three, you're holding it here, and this is your central channel. Remember how I said this is where all your main chakras are? Your central channel. It's what connects you to your higher self, to God. It's what connects you to Earth. And you got this ball here. You're not grounded, and you're not connecting. It's stopping you from your evolution. Three, solar plex can't work. The chakra is the one that tells you what the right direction to go is in. What's the right job? What's the right time to phone someone? What's the right opportunity? This is your central guidance center to guide you so you can fulfill your destiny, your calling, your purpose, the reason you came. You hold that crap in here, you'll never know. Your body's too busy just trying to contain it. So your first mission in life, always, if you're trying to heal, forgive. Forgive, forgive, forgive. That means you're discharging, discharging, and discharging. When we work with earth energy, that's what we're doing with it. We're either discharging it to earth or we're discharging it this way, up our central channel, but we're discharging it.
Can you still forgive a person but decide, like what I'm trying to say is it still technically confirming that I forgave the person and then decide not to continue having them in my life?
No problem.
Okay, so it's still
because you
considering
forgive them
yeah.
doesn't mean that you have to
to
buddy
keep-
with them. No,
Okay.
not at all. Because once stung, you know, like learn the lesson sort of thing and say, okay,
Yeah.
I forgive you, but we're not doing a repeat.
No.
I'm not opening up that door. I'm not taking the potential of being hurt by you again. So I think that's wisdom.
And you don't have to have an interaction with them. You're just
No.
forgiving.
You may want to energetically call them forward
Yes.
and do work with them that way, but there's absolutely no reason why you need to face them one-on-one.
But,
Some people feel they need to. It's just who they are. But no, and even if they're dead, same thing. You still do the work.
but what if it's like it's a parent, it's someone that has to kind of like still be around and
I imagine they'll feel it.
Yeah.
I imagine
They'll feel the
it.
difference. When you forgive them, you will just act differently. You'll be softer around them.
Body
and
language.
the body language will change, right. And they may change because of that, too.
well, yeah.
You know, so it offers them the opportunity to be something other than what they are. We hold them in that pattern because
Yeah.
we don't forgive. So we don't hear who they are now. But if you think about yourselves or some of your friends, look how much they've evolved and changed over the last
Yeah.
even months in some
Yeah.
cases, right? So if we hold them in the old pattern, we're saying, no, you'll always be like that. That's what that is. We're not allowing them the space to grow.
Mm.
By forgiving the person, you're giving them that potential to move outside of who they were. It's the greatest gift you can give someone. And again, you're doing it for you, first and foremost, to heal you. But healing you will ripple out and heal others.
I imagine that after a point in time, you're too exhausted to contain it anymore.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's like let it go already.
You know old people that are like,
Yeah.
they got so much in them, and they might be 60 and like that already, decrepit, and right, because they've got so much anger and stuff inside them that they've never forgiven. They will look 10 to 20 years older than they are. They'll walk 10 to 20 years older. Everything they do will be like 10 to 20 years older because they're holding so much charges inside them from one person and the next. And that's another thing that's really important too. If you hold something like that inside you, you will attract other people that will do the same.
Well, you mirror it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like the universe bringing you these other people in the hope that you'll see why you're attracting them, so you'll get rid of the charges you have. So in a way, it's like you're attracting all these other terrible things, all these other things that you really don't want. And that's why people say, I keep getting the same boyfriends all the time. They're the same whatever. How come? How come I keep attracting this kind of guy or this kind of situation? It's because there's things inside you haven't forgiven. There's stuff you haven't gone through or processed yet. So you're still vibrating those frequencies. So it's out there. So you're still bringing those same kind of people to you to show you what you have inside you. The world will bring it to you and show it. So most important is forgiving and healing, moving past that so you can clean your record, clean up everything, and bring something new into your life. So when you forgive another and forgive yourself, then you're able to let that story go, and that then brings you into the present moment. How important is it to forgive? It's probably one of the most important things you can ever do.